Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue, standing in front of the wall of champions here at Lulu Country Club. Fittingly in front of a list of champions, because today we're going to introduce you to a new champion. Yes, a new event, actually, sponsored by the Philadelphia PGA section, introduced at Gulf Mills Country Club. It was the Silvercrest Asset Management Group event. First year for it, and an amateur, Andrew Keeling from Kennett Square, won in a sudden death playoff against Shawnee's Brian Bergstall. We'll hear from Andrew about his up and down round that earned him a tie with Bergstall, but eventually he won it in a playoff. Recently, Valley Forge Tourism hosted the second APGA Tour Valley Forge Championship. Once again, it was held at Bluestone Country Club. The APGA was established in 2010 with a mission to bring greater diversity to the game of golf by operating pro tournaments and player development programs. A rising star, Marcus Bird, captured the title. We'll talk to Marcus about his victory. And coming up, our teed off panel will be back with us again, this time talking about ways and weather to roll back the ball, distance-wise, for elite players. That's all coming up next here on Inside Golf. The 25th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. Your next golf getaway is in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Visit montcogolf.com. By the First Tee Greater Philadelphia. The First Tee not only helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit firstteephiladelphia.org. By the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, a community of professionals enhancing the game of golf since 1925. Make sure you thank your golf course superintendent today. By Gap, celebrating 125 years of amateur golf. By Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, a digital publication and private business network. Read the current issue free at jerseymanmagazine.com. By the Haverford Trust Company. For life's must-haves, there's Haverford. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia PGA section, the experts in the game and business of golf.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality, a chance to be part of a team, a career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. Recently, the Philly PGA and Silvercrest Asset Management Group came up with a new event for the Philadelphia area. It was the Silvercrest Cup. It was held at Gulf Mills. 54 local pros qualified for the event, and there were also 8 amateurs from the Golf Association of Philadelphia who teed up. And it was a thrilling finish in sudden death. After 18 holes, it was all even at 3 under par 68. And that required a sudden death playoff between the amateur Andrew Keeling from Kennett Square Golf Club and PGA professional Brian Bergstall. He's from Shawnee Inn and Golf Resort. In the playoff on the 18th hole, Bergstall was able to tap in his par. Keeling was able to get his first putt close and tapped in to make a birdie to clinch the victory. Keeling's march to victory at times seemed to be a roller coaster ride.
Man, the first 9, I made an eagle early, it was 2 under, and then I double bogeyed almost immediately after that. And that was kind of how the round felt for a while. It was ups and downs. I would make a birdie and then come out with a bogey. And towards my second 9, which is the front 9 here, the putter caught fire. I ended up with another double bogey, but after that, I think I had, 2 birdies in a row after the double, and then a few more birdies coming in. And the putter was just on fire, and the greens were perfect. So if you got it on the right line, it was going in. The course is just perfect. The wind made it really difficult. The greens were tough, but I really enjoyed it. My buddy Mike Salick, he looped for me a few times this year, and he did a nice job. Read the greens well, keeps me in good spirits out there, and we keep it light, so it was good to have him on the bag today.
Bergstall is the reigning Philadelphia PGA professional champion, and while he didn't walk away with the trophy, he certainly appreciated the winner's check and Silvercrest's support. The $15,000 is one of the most lucrative winner's checks on the section's tournament calendar. The Silvercrest Cup was created by Silvercrest Asset Management Group.
What we really wanted to do was sort of give back to the local communities where we had offices and where our partners and our clients all live and work and learn how to play golf. And so we thought there'd be no better way of doing that than giving back to the local professionals who serve us and our clients and potential clients for us. So we decided that that would be the way to go. So we created the Silvercrest Cup Series, which we are launching here in the Philadelphia section of the PGA. The idea behind it is the professionals in our business, work hard at learning their craft and teaching our clients about what we do and helping them with their investments, always striving for excellence. And club professionals do the same thing.
These professionals are the backbone of the golf community. They're the backbone of supporting so much about the culture of golf, holding the standards of excellence and keep passing them on to the next generation. We believe very strongly about that. And the purse is really meant to reflect our admiration for what these pros are doing and to really incentivize them to come out and show what they can do on behalf of golf.
We also wanted to take advantage of some charitable opportunities. The Philadelphia Reach, PGA Reach Foundation does a lot of really great work in the golf community locally, so we're happy to make contribution there. And we also believe in scholarship. We have an academy at Silvercrest called the Silvercrest Academy for our folks. We all use caddies when we are playing the game of golf, and so we thought it would be great to give back in that way, so we are contributing to the J. Wood Platt Caddy Scholarship Program as well.
We're 20 years old this year, so it seemed like a really good time to step out and do more in the community and literally wave our flag, which is here on the golf course at the 18th green, by supporting the community in this way. The firm works with over 700 families, and we're really proud of that work.
So congratulations to both Andrew and Brian. Coming up next here on Inside Golf, we're going to Bluestone Country Club, where Valley Forge Tourism, for the second straight year, hosted the Valley Forge Championship, part of the APGA Tour.
Do you think this Valley Forge vacation was your idea? We've been controlling this the whole time. This racing game is great, but nothing beats the real thing.
That sloth you think I love so much gets me a free trip to the zoo.
They don't know they're hungry yet, but I do. I'm starving!
Charlie, Charlie! Works every time.
Just wait until you see what I plan for the next trip. Visit Valley Forge, where kids make the rules.
For over 2 decades, First Tee has created experiences that build character. We believe every kid deserves to feel supported, safe to try something new, and to be prepared for what comes next. We develop their swing, but more importantly, their inner strength. Because we know what's inside doesn't just count, it changes the game. Come join us at First Tee.
For the second year in a row, the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board and Montgo Golf were proud to help bring back the APGA Tour Valley Forge to Bluestone Country Club, where the beautiful weather made for some great golf, especially for the winner who led all the way.
Long time coming for sure. Had a bunch of second place finishes over the last year or so, and it felt good to finally break through and get a win this week. Obviously, when you first get out there, your mind's kind of wandering and you're trying to figure out, do I just maintain or do I try and go for it? But honestly, I just kind of took what the golf course gave to me today. I had some good looks that I didn't make, and had some putts that I probably shouldn't have made that I did. So, it was one of those days, man, where you just kind of hang in there, see what the other guys are doing, just try not to make too many mistakes and take advantage of the good chances when you get them. I just felt like if someone wanted to come get me, they had to play some really good golf, and I felt like if I just maintained and did what I was supposed to do, that, you know, I would walk away with a win, hopefully, and I'm happy it worked out that way. You have to think your way around this course. You know, it's an advantage to hit it far, but there's some places where hitting it far and you not knowing where it's going can definitely hurt you. The greens were very penal if you missed them. Just certain areas around this golf course that you couldn't be in. So, you know, I definitely tried to stay away from those and just kind of stick to the game plan that I had this week, which was just hit fairways, give myself a wedge in my hand, and try and make a birdie from there. It was just a really good week, honestly.
So Cole, second year bringing the APGA back to Montgo, back to Bluestone. How did it feel?
It felt wonderful. I mean, this weather is remarkable.
What made you all want to come to this area and to begin with, and then to return again a second year?
You know, being our first time in northeastern part of the country, we came here last year and we were so impressed with the layout and the outpour from the volunteers and also the club members here. We said we need to come back. The players love it. The players actually love the challenge of the course. Even as being a 6,400 plus yard course, the players love the challenge.
And the APGA has grown so much, even from last year to this year. Talk a little bit about how far you all have come.
Well, look, in 2010, two tournaments, 40 grand between the two events. Fast forward to 2022, 18 events, one actually in Bermuda, over $1 million in prize money. What can I say? I mean, it's just been an incredible journey.
What do you think has helped it grow to where it is today, and do you anticipate growing even further? Like, what are your goals for it?
Well, one goal is to potentially add a women's component to golf. Also, we think we're probably right size in terms of the number of events we have, but we're looking to explore additional courses around the country. And then we're also looking to bring in that diverse audience.
Talk about the APGA's message and your mission to bring diversity to the sport of golf.
Great question. Our mission is to bring greater diversity to golf, not only on the golf course, but also in the business of golf. Golf is an $80+ billion industry, and we feel our players would be very capable in that industry.
And you do a lot, not just for the adult players, but for youth too. Talk about what you did this week with the youth clinic.
You know, that's really a passion of ours. The youth clinic we held here was just amazing. The inspiration that was gained both ways from the youth as well as our volunteers was just over the top. That's something we want to continue to do. This year we added a mental health component that was really well received, and we always do our raffle prizes and scholarships.
It's been awesome. You know, I have a great group of guys around me, a great group of friends, and we're just working hard and trying to get to the next level and supporting each other, and just traveling week to week, it definitely makes it a lot easier, you know. But at the end of the day, it's still a grind. It's still mini tour golf, and you know, we're very fortunate to have the APGA do the things they do for us, and with the golf courses that we play and the events, and then also the staff like here at Bluestone for helping out this week. And it's just, you can't really ask much else from a mini tour, and it's been really awesome. It's been a great year.
Congratulations to Marcus. Keep it going, Marcus. First place in that APGA event at Bluestone, and it was worth $7,500. You know, Valley Forge Tourism recently also launched their focus on the arts with a jazz festival. It was held at the Rivet in Pottstown.
Now more than ever, I think we need arts and culture back in our lives, right? We need it for mental health.
Arts bring out the better side of us often, and it's just important that we do things to work together to help foster the continuance of the arts, if you will.
But the arts is a universal language.
She might have gone up.
And bringing people together. I spent 17 years at the Kimmel Center, so knowing, you know, people love the arts. You come in, you're happy, you go out happy, it brings you up, you know, it lifts you up, and it's really wonderful for us to see that the festival opened here in Pottstown for the whole county. I mean, this is a great thing for the Pottstown community. And this band, I saw them in Scranton. They are outstanding. It brings you back to the days that Sunnybrook had when Tommy Dorsey came, and Sinatra, and Dean Martin, and this is the style.
Well, I'm just looking forward to learning about all the opportunities that are out there. I grew up in Pottstown. I was born and raised here just across the river, and it's just exciting to see its resurgence. We've been working together, you know, even before Joe was elected, we've been working for a long time to try and bring Pottstown back, and I think this is a sign that it is coming back.
This in particular was very special to us. We see it as a wonderful way to bring people out of that COVID time, which just as we were speaking about earlier this evening about people looking for entertainment. And so this year is going to be really exciting for us to be able to use our Lively Arts series to work with the Valley Forge Convention Board to just revitalize the county. We love Pottstown, we love being in Pottstown, but we recognize again it's all about partnerships. And so we can't do it alone, and we have just been welcomed, at least I have since my tenure at the college, just been welcomed in the Pottstown community, and we're looking to bring more family-oriented programming. We're looking to work together with Pottstown to see if we can find synergies between the programs. We're looking at family programs coming in. In particular, for me and the work that I'm doing at the college, we're really trying to bolster that K through 12 programming that we allow. So on the one hand, it will be nice entertainment and ability for people to come into the Pottstown community, maybe enjoy restaurants, come over to the college for some programming. And so that in and of itself is wonderful. But also, we're hoping to build those pathways from kindergarten through the 12th grade, and then hopefully that leads to jobs, and then that goes right back into Pottstown, hopefully as well, into Montgomery County. So we're really excited about the partnerships, and we just simply can't do it alone.
Here at Inside Golf, we welcome our partnership with Valley Forge Tourism to not only promote the great golf in the area, but lots of other things as well. The Jazz Festival, by the way, was just a kickoff to make people aware of the many ways to celebrate the arts in the region. To check out some of those events, go to artsmonco.com and check out what's happening in Pottstown. Lots of great venues and restaurants. Coming up next here on Inside Golf, we're going to be talking about possibly rolling back the ball with our teed-off panel. That's next on Inside Golf.
It doesn't happen to me. So it's an issue for those guys.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues. Once again, we're here at Lulu Country Club on the back deck on a beautiful day. Nice and shady here, but it couldn't get any better for us and our teed-off panel, consisting of Joe Logan from myphillygolf.com, native of Tarboro, North Carolina. We found that out in the last edition of Teed Off. Matt Fry, I know he's from somewhere near Cincinnati, Ohio, right?
That's true.
How about that? But anyhow, Matt's Director of Communications for the Philadelphia section of the PGA. I'm from nearby Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. Now
Glenside there, Glenside.
Glenside, is that it? Well, were you born in Glenside? Was that your
Born in Abington.
Abington? Everybody up here, you know, if you're within 3 blocks, you're in either Upper Dublin or Abington or Glenside. He's here at Lulu as a member, and joining us once again, Jim Sullivan.
Thanks.
Good to see you. Not long ago, I think it was back in March, both the USGA and the RNA, the two big governing bodies in golf, although we'll get into that too a little bit, were announcing they were going to explore ways to perhaps roll back the ball, how far it went, for elite players, like tour players. And it probably won't be decided. Maybe they'll drop a bombshell sooner or later. But Joe, what's your feeling on that? And is that going to really solve the problems for everybody? And I mean like amateurs. They're still going to want to play maybe a juiced up ball or what?
Never lose sight of the fact that there is enormous opposition to any such move from the manufacturers. They're in the business of selling golf balls that go a long way. They don't want to talk about this. And the other thing is that this distance is really on an issue at the PGA Tour level and Korn Ferry. For your ordinary golfers out here, weekend hacks, and even good amateurs, it's not that much of an issue. It's not something we sit around sweating about all the time, that, gosh, I'm just taking this course apart, I'm hitting it so far. It doesn't happen to me. So it's an issue for those guys because they can't stretch those golf courses enough. And you know, who wants to watch some guy hitting driver pitching wedge into every par 5? So whether they ultimately deal with it, there'll be a lot of noise and fury, but I don't know that anything will ever happen.
Right. Matt, I'm not, you know, really submerged into this issue. Like Joe said, you know, you get a certain age and you can use a pop gun and it's not going to make a difference. But I would think, just being around golf and knowing the way the trends have gone, now guys are getting up there and bombing it, bombers, and the amount of fairways hit percentage-wise has dropped because they can hit it so far. They just want to get the right club for the next shot in their hands. Wouldn't it be more conducive, and this is a maintenance problem, I guess, like grow the rough twice as high as it is, narrow the fairways, and then let's see if they're going to take that same approach when it comes to driving the golf ball.
That's true. That is an option. I think the issue with that is that the tour plays one golf course 1 week of the year. And that could really screw up that host course for several weeks for their members or their regular customers. On top of that, I think it really sends the wrong message to the courses across the country. You know, we talk a lot about the Augusta effect back in the day when Augusta started making these changes, and then a lot of courses across the country started making the same changes or similar changes. And if they see heavy rough and narrow fairways on the PGA Tour and on television, guess what? You're probably going to start seeing it at the local level too, and that's not going to be good for the everyday golfer.
Yeah, Augusta never had rough. I mean, that was never an issue at Augusta, even back in the day. Sully, what's your thoughts on this?
So one of the great things about golf to me is that you, at all levels, you're generally able to play the same course. Maybe you play a little shorter tee, but you play the same course and you play or have access to the same equipment. So I've been opposed to bifurcation all along. I'm opposed to grow the heavy rough to keep the scores high. Let the guys shoot 30 under. You know, if we're Lulu and we don't want the tour guys to come here and dismantle the golf course, you don't have to have them come, but I would just be comfortable letting them shoot 30 or 35 under. They're that much better than I am. I don't need them to shoot even par because I can shoot even par. I would let them shoot 30 under. Now, is there momentum towards rolling the ball back? There's talk about when the USGA and the R&A used to allow different size balls, and the smaller ball would go substantially further. And at some point, it was no more small ball, everybody's playing the US size ball, which created effectively a rollback for the vast majority of the world, which is the R&A. USGA oversees the US, R&A oversees the rest of the world. Mexico might be with the USGA. Well, so that was effectively a rollback overnight for the rest of the world, and gradually everybody wants to play what the best players can play, so they played the rollback, effectively rolled back big ball. If they decide on a rollback, it won't affect my golf. I'll roll back and hit the ball shorter than the shortness I already hit it. I'll enjoy it. I just don't think it's something that that the bodies are going to mandate, and I don't think it matters. Joe makes a good point. Driver, pitching wedge, driver wedge all day isn't all that exciting. I think the genie's out of the bottle. I don't know how you get it back in on that. And if you really, really try to, you've got a great deal of the population not thrilled with how short they hit the ball now, unless you bifurcate.
You know, every sport, I'll get to you in a second, every sport has evolved into changes that have really changed the game. I mean, like basketball with the three-point shot. That's all you see now. You know, the big man, I can't say it's been eliminated, the post player, but it's been eliminated. Baseball, for years, they had, a fascination because fans love to see home runs. So the ball was livelier. So now golf is going through, I think, a similar situation, isn't it?
You were talking about the idea of shooting 30 under, which bothers a lot of us. But there's a reason the U.S. Open is only 1 week out of the year. It's so much harder. Yeah. Never lose sight of the fact that the PGA Tour is a sports league. They're in the business of making their players look good. They don't want their players hacking around in the rough and struggling to make par. People want to see birdies. Fans want to see birdies. Bingo. And they want to provide as many as they can. And so they're not going to rough these guys up too much.
Bingo.
Yep. Yep, Matt, final word.
Just one quick thing. On counterpoint, I don't think a lot of people on tour or with the tour would agree with me here, but one of my biggest gripes about Major League Baseball in recent years is it's become boring because everyone's just swinging the fences. Either they're hitting it out or they're striking out. Small ball is where the excitement is, and I feel that golf, the product, even on television, would be a lot more interesting if we could see more long irons and longer clubs into the greens rather than just pitching out.
A minority voice has been heard. All right, Matt, thank you. Thank you, guys. More of Inside Golf coming up in just a moment. Designed by Donald Ross, Lulu Country Club is one of the premier private golf courses in Montgomery County. This classic 18-hole course boasts a new state-of-the-art clubhouse with many amenities for members to enjoy. Members are invited to play in events, tournaments, and enjoy guest privileges. For more information, contact membership at lulucc.com. The oldest state or regional golf association in the country hits a milestone this year. GAP celebrates its 125th birthday. Celebrating amateur golf since 1897, GAP has evolved to include 300-plus member clubs, more than 90,000 individual members. It offers events for males and females of all ages and ability levels. GAP continues to uphold its mission to preserve, protect, and promote the game of golf. Happy birthday, GAP.
While most drivers spend their lives going from point A to B, in America, we're all about point X. That's why our most versatile BMW X-Range vehicles are proudly manufactured right here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. The BMW X-Range, your next X-Venture, starts here. Hurry in to lease a 2023 BMW X5 X-Drive 40i for $879 per month.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. And in future weeks here on Inside Golf, we're going to introduce you to some of the champions and some of the outstanding players, both amateurs from GAP and professionals from the Philadelphia section of the PGA. They have had quite a year in 2022. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. The game's too important. Stick with it. And we'll see you next time right here on Inside Golf. The 25th season of Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. Your next golf getaway is in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Visit montcogolf.com. By the First Tee Greater Philadelphia. The First Tee not only helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit firstteephiladelphia.org. By the Philadelphia Association of Golf Course Superintendents, a community of professionals enhancing the game of golf since 1925. Make sure you thank your golf course superintendent today. By GAP, celebrating 125 years of amateur golf. By Jersey Man and Philly Man Magazine, a digital publication and private business network. Read the current issue free at jerseymanmagazine.com. By the Haverford Trust Company. For life's must-haves, there's Haverford. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia PGA section, the experts in the game and business of golf.